It's official, the GOAT has returned to CS2, and in case you haven't heard the news, s1mple has joined Falcons, which means that this will be the first time that he's been competing since CS2 has released, and it's been almost a year since the last time we got to see him in action. And so of course I wanted to go ahead and take a look at this first game and see how he did right after a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by s1mple's. Now if you're not familiar with s1mple's, this is a trade site that allows you to take some of the old and crusty skins out of your inventory, and you can actually trade them in for something a little bit new, a little bit shinier than what you have right now. And it's really easy to do this actually. All you need to do is log in through Steam, pick the skins that you don't want to use anymore, grab the ones that you do, and then click trade. All trades will pretty much happen immediately, and any balance that you don't use in your trade actually stays on the site for you to use for any future trades that you decide to do. And right now, if you use the link in the description, you can actually get a 35% deposit bonus, and that's good for up to $100. So let's say you deposit $100, you would actually get $135 on the site if you use my link. So make sure you check out s1mple's, and let's hop right back into the video. So we're gonna kick things off with Anubis, and this was a really good game, and s1mple, well, he actually went 6-14, so actually on screen right now, you're seeing every kill that he got that game. So of course that wasn't really the best map of all time, but of course it is a best of 3, which means we get to see one more map from our GOAT, and this is going to be Nuke. Now of course it is important to note that this is the first time that he's playing with a team since CS2 has come out, so I'm interested to see how he's going to approach some of the tactics that are coming in. Of course we see outside smokes this round, but more what I mean is that of course when you throw these outside smokes now, you have to be aware of people spamming and of course blowing open the smokes like this. And I am kind of curious to see how he will be like handling some of these new mechanics, since we haven't got to see him play it since the game is released. Now, some of you guys that are, nerds will say, but Austin, s1mple technically played a series with Falcons. I understand he played a series with Falcons like a few months back, but the reason why I don't want to count that as his first series versus this one is because he was just a stand-in for that. So probably didn't practice with them, and he probably just showed up and played. At least with this, I know that they've put in a little bit of time, there's some theory, and this can be counted as his actual first game. So and that being said, the round has kind of fallen flat on its head. It is a 2-on-5 now, and it's just s1mple to try to work some of that magic, and he actually will be somewhat successful here. The re-aggression is coming in from Maka, and s1mple is going to have shadow advantage on him there, which actually reminds me that I have been working on a video on all of the shadow advantages that you can have in CS2, and I want to make the video a little bit of a Valve please nerf shadows in CS2 video. So if you guys are interested in seeing that when it comes out, make sure you guys are subscribed so you can be here the day that it drops. But of course, this round doesn't really get that far. Okay, so we're gonna move over to round number 8. Now I know I skipped a lot of rounds, but that's really because Falcons have looked, well, they look kind of dead, to be honest, and I don't want to be rude, but they haven't really been getting anything done. But one thing that you can always do when you have s1mple on the team is have him buy a hero AK and see if he can work some magic. Now, as you can see here, he does go across that gap there, and he spots Maka in the credit angle. So immediately he asks Madden to boost him up, and then he's going to actually pre-fire this angle. Now remember, s1mple is an opper as well, so he knows that that's a common angle. That's why he checks it. He knows it's a hard shot for Maka to hit, and then he's able to go for the boost and get a kill. That's a very strong opening. Now, one of the other things that has happened in this round is that Lucky actually walked through the outside smokes. Now, this is nothing that hasn't happened in any Counter-Strike game ever, but it is really important to note that they are disrespecting the utility of Falcons because they have been given no reason not to. When it's at 6-1 up right now, and they know they're playing against pistols, there's no reason for them to not just throw themselves at them because they know that they're dominating him. You don't want to let them get into secret. You don't want to let them feel comfortable with a late round scenario. You just want to keep, well, you want to keep destroying them. I mean, realistically, that's what you have here. So that's exactly what's going to happen. s1mple again with that hero AK. He finds a trade onto Gravity, but it doesn't really seem like anything's going. Oh no, it's happening. He's doing the thing. s1mple, he's back in action. 3 kills in the round with that hero AK. He's actually going to find himself now in a 1-on-2, and he knows where Joko is, given that he just killed his teammate. There's a real chance that s1mple could win this, and he just needs to make sure to not go too fast. He knows that Lucky wasn't secret. He knows Joko is in towards that back credit angle, and it's very likely that Lucky is going to leave because they don't want to have a 1-on-1. It is extremely likely that Lucky has repositioned up the vent so that he can crossfire with him, and that's exactly why s1mple is going to walk down lower. We'll fast forward a little bit here. We're going to see s1mple making his way in towards lower. Still has a smoke to get this bomb planted. Now, it's important to know where he has planted the bomb because it is easy to spam from single, which is why he's going to go back and tuck himself in this cubby. Now, this cubby is extremely strong for so many reasons, but the one reason that I can think of off the top of my head is that nobody can come out the vent without s1mple just having a free kill. And of course, if they try to clear single, it's going to be very hard for them because he does have a shadow advantage if anybody comes in that room. Now, they have tapped the bomb. Joko is low. s1mple's on for the ace clutch, but he is also very low himself. He needs to connect the spam. He's actually done it, but Lucky has a kit. He picks it up off of his teammate's body, and he finds the kill onto s1mple. But of course, s1mple knows that he still has won this round, and that is going to be s1mple with effectively an ace clutch securing Falcons their first round. Wow. I mean, after that first map, I wasn't really expecting too much, to be completely honest, but I was very, very excited to see that s1mple has a round like that. Now, unfortunately, it hasn't gotten us very far because I skipped to the last round of the half, and it is 9-2, and we have a default being called from Falcons. Now, on a default on Nuke, nothing crazy happens except for we get outside smokes, a little bit of outside pressure, and of course, everybody's in lobby, but Maka finds that kill onto Magix, and s1mple is too slow to trade. Maybe a little bit of rust there. I feel like old s1mple's right on him right away. He actually had a chance to kill him there, but instead, s1mple is just going to take matters into his own hands. He comes in towards Titan, hits a crazy shot, and the follow-up onto Exercise as well. A 2K into the A site. In the meantime, Snappy gets a kill outside, and we are looking good for this third round. s1mple repositioning towards top hut here because, of course, he has all the confidence in the world. He is s1mple after all, and the reason this spot is so good is because you can actually see people without them expecting you. I mean, of course, when you're retaking from heaven, most of the time you're not expecting somebody to be able to see you until you peek into back sight. But top hut is, of course, good for catching people off guard there. And so s1mple has found yet another 3K, which has directly resulted in a round win for Falcons. And I'm already starting to notice a little bit of a trend here if you're kind of keeping up with what I'm saying here. It looks like s1mple is, of course, in the win condition for our boys. And that's going to continue going into this first pistol round. Now, I won't break down the strat too much for the T side, but the CT spread is pretty typical. Now, normally on Nuke, you want to play pistols where everybody can rotate very quickly because if the bomb does go down on either one of the sites, it is extremely hard to retake with those close range angles. And here we have it from s1mple's POV. The T's are going to explode in towards lower. Now, they have a really good lurk with Lucky coming from ramp late, but it won't matter. s1mple's going to play that very overpowered angle on top of the silo. Gravity could never see him in a million years, even if he wanted to. Eventually, that flank will come in from Lucky, though, so s1mple is all alone right now. He has 3 different T's that are fighting him. Hits a crazy one onto Lucky. The follow-up again onto Joko. And as you can see, s1mple, he's looking sharp. He's looking just as sharp as he did at his prime in CSGO. And there's a lot of exciting things. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a s1mple fan. I really do enjoy watching him play. I can't believe that we've been missing him for an entire year. To be completely honest, if you think about it, that is kind of insane to think about. Like, a year we haven't had s1mple playing. Like, some of these kids who started playing with CS2 don't even know about s1mple. Can you believe that? Anyway, full eco as clean as you like. s1mple's gonna find one. Everybody else just does their thing. Okay, moving on to round number 15, we have outside aggression for Falcons. Now, of course, s1mple is going to throw these flashes for his teammates to fight back red and kind of just take early outside fights. We don't see anything, but we do get information that nobody's out there. s1mple's gonna throw a nade toward top silo, and then he's going to rotate over to help his ramp player who is in some serious trouble. Magix is gonna take first contact. Off of that, of course, that's when s1mple will peek. He gets one, but he goes down. But it won't matter because now Exercise is in a 1-on-5, and I don't think there's a single world that he could ever win this, and he will not. And on round number 16, we get to finally see s1mple has the op on CT side. Now, of course, it is just a half buy for 3D Max, but these rounds can get a little scary. I mean, you see that most of them are actually buying utility instead of armor, which is actually pretty expected on Nuke because you can always put together a decent A hit, a ramp hit, or even swarm outside with just the bare minimum of utility. So that's kind of what I expect to see from this team. On the other side, of course, s1mple takes a fight on that deagle, but once he realizes that they're just on pistols, he's going to back up. He doesn't want to go down early and potentially give over an op. Now, I have explained in other demo reviews many times, such as the Brokey demo review or the Zywoo one of them will be linked in the top right of your screen if you're curious. This heaven position is actually utilized by every single opper, and the reason is because you are quick to rotate to anywhere on the map that needs it. Now, I've explained it before. Like I said, you can go watch the video of the breakdown of this box that I'm drawing right now, but most of the time you're going to see the oppers stay in this box right here because they are quick to rotate to either ramp, they can go up the ladder and fight into A. They can also stay up the ladder and fight outside. Of course, they can op from here. Zywoo likes to op here. People like to hop behind the orange box. People like to op hell. It's very useful because you can always be helping outside, always be helping ramp, and always be helping A. And especially on a half buy, this is a good spot for him to pick. Now he's going to nade the smoke, just kind of looking for anybody he can find. I do think it was a little bit early to nade it since they just landed, but regardless, we go on, dropping his extra nades over to his A player, so that way he can just be, you know, more like, I have my gun out, I'm ready to fight. The hit comes in. s1mple is going to actually miss that first shot, but then he corrects it, hits a nice shot onto Lucky. This could get a little out of hand, but s1mple is not afraid. He's just running out onto the site there. He actually will pick one up, and of course, he's ready for gravity, opping from top hut. s1mple finds yet another 3K. Now, that half bite could have gotten out of hand if s1mple didn't make that play, but you're seeing it again. He is still just as confident as ever. I don't think in my entire time of playing CS, I've ever seen an opper run out there knowing there's only one person on the site. You take a 1v1. If you lose, you just lose the round. But of course s1mple would do it, right? I mean, of course he would do it. It's simple. I haven't actually thought about how weird it is to make a demo review on s1mple after a year until I was saying his name so much, and it seems like I'm saying the name of a ghost or an actual legend, since nobody's talked about him for almost a year and a half. We have a standard A play from 3D Max. The idea, of course, of this round is they want to put a little bit of outside pressure so that that player can either sneak in through mini wall on the hit, or at least just keep the mini player and of course the opper focused on outside so they can hit A into only 2 people and pretty much make it a free round. It's standard, but luckily for s1mple, he's going to catch Maka on that jump outside. Now remember, again, a little bit of name plating here, but because Maka is the opper, it's actually very unlikely that an A hit is coming in, because normally if your opper is out here, it's pretty likely that you are doing a normal default. Maybe we're going to boost him up back red, have him fight somebody while somebody is walking down secret. So this A hit is actually very well timed, and it could go pretty well. Gravity finds the entry. s1mple knows what's going on now. He's going to run through this mini smoke, but there is nothing blocking his line of sight, so Exercise will peek right into him. And that's another 2K for our boy. And I do really like the strat from 3D Max. I think it was good as long as Maka doesn't go down. But even though he did, the nameplate would still suggest that it's going to be just a regular default, but it wasn't. But maybe they were missing a smoke. Maybe the guy that was supposed to smoke the inside of mini just completely missed it, or he was already gone. I don't know. But I still like the strat overall. We're going to skip a few more rounds. We are on round number 20, and s1mple is going to be going outside with the op this round. Now, he does drop that Molotov over to s1nappy before, right after s1nappy threw that one. And the reason is it's just, small detail, but the opper can't really throw all of his nades, especially since he's the one that's going to be holding line. So giving that molly over to s1nappy actually means that if outside smokes were thrown, that s1nappy can easily molly top secret, whereas s1mple from this position cannot do that. The best he could do is molly over here, but they could easily be through. So just a small detail, but could be important if you are a player yourself. Now s1mple is going to be hanging out here holding this back red angle, but of course the second that he steps out, Maka is actually waiting for him and will punish that. It's actually going to lead to a pretty interesting round now because it's a 3-on-4, so you're going to have to take some fights, but that's when Exercise... I don't even know what he just did. Did you see that? He literally just deleted dupreeh off the server. He steps out through his own smoke and takes down Magic. I don't think you can account for something like that. Did you see that? No, I'm not joking. Replay the video. Did you see that? What even is that? Yeah, look at his AK craft. It says poop. This is the guy that's one-tapping you, dupreeh. This guy has an AK that spells out poop, man. This is ridiculous. And anyway, he throws a really cool flash there through the window. Unfortunately, the glass wasn't broken. Now, that flash I actually have made a YouTube short on. It actually flashes anybody that's exactly where Madden is. If he wouldn't have missed it, he might have been able to save his teammate's life. But of course, he will get the bomb regardless, and he will be jump spotting backside, spots him out, and there it is. Oh, and there it is. And he's probably saying, guys, I destroyed dupreeh this round. That's exactly what he said right there. I destroyed him. A crazy one tap. Go watch the VOD. So putting the focus back onto s1mple, I want to talk about this really good force buy round that Falcons do. Now, s1mple is just going to have a deagle and a molly, but you need to look at the strat. So while s1mple is going to put outside pressure, he's actually going to molly door for his teammates and then flash outside. What we have in the meantime is fast lobby aggression coming in from Falcons. Now, they are going to get lobby with 4 people right away, and the idea is actually pretty basic, but it's genius in practice, because what happens is once you take lobby control from any good team, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to accelerate outside, which is exactly why s1nappy is already rotating down in towards B. So if they go down secret, s1nappy will be waiting for them. Now, I know he doesn't have an op or anything like that, but he will still be there to hold it if they go there. And in the meantime, s1mple is going to have his teammate Magix come back right here, and they're going to actually set up a really good crossfire. And dupreeh is in towards mini now off of the back of that. So they actually have every line covered, and of course, with no outside smokes, they're pretty confident that they haven't actually done that, which means that Falcons are owning them in terms of map control right now, which is only half the battle. You still have to hit the shots, but it is still a really good position to be in. s1mple's going to step out and find their first kill on Dejoko. Now, in the meantime, I didn't even mention this, but Madden is also crossfired with dupreeh. So look at this. They have a crossfire in this area right here if anyone comes in towards Mini. Simple's stopping them from even coming in towards Mini to begin with. And Magix is about to come back here, and he's going to peek off of Simple taking contact because, of course, they're going to say Simple's in CT. Magix is going to kill them. And if they do go down secret in any one of these instances, well, Snappy's down here, and he should get one and live. So actually, this round is really good. The only thing that could make it go wrong is if Simple overpeaks too much or if Magix doesn't get any kills, which of course Simple does overpeak and Magix gets a kill. He breaks the glass and he's going to rotate up. They're actually in a really good position up until Dupree goes for a little bit of an over-aggression in my opinion. He doesn't go down, but he gives up a little bit of the setup that they were doing. Snappy also went down to 11 HP during all of this, and of course with Magix having to give up having control, their position is over. However, that isn't to say that the strat was bad. It was actually really good. Just an individual choice from Magix there I don't really enjoy, and that's actually going to lead to their downfall. And in case you're curious on what just happened, let me show you. So with playing the spot that Magix has chosen, he actually cannot see if anyone scales up above him, which I don't think he knew in the meantime, but he literally just can't see him. Like even like right here, this little beam, it would have completely blocked him, but he has no idea, right? And so he's just going to go down for free, which is going to completely crush the setup that they have on A. And yeah, that's how they lose this round. But either way, this round was really, really good. Now for this last round, we are going to have a very similar buy, but they're going to have a different plan, which is outside fighting with Snappy. Now my map is completely broken. CS2, please fix. I don't know what is going on here. I don't like that I can only see two people, but whatever. Now, of course, Simple's doing the same thing, dropping his nades over to Snappy, who has actually backed up in the meantime after putting that pressure. Simple hits a 1 immediately gets trades out. That is the end of his game. It is 27-16 for him, but let's go ahead and watch the rest of the round for Falcons because I want to show you where it goes wrong. Maka is going to be pressuring outside, and then they are going to wrap. I'm going to give you a cinematic view so you can see the entire picture because my map is broken. They're going to wrap outside. Snappy gets taken out in towards C, and they pretty much have everything that they could ever want. Because Snappy has died in towards secret and they can hear them running, Magix is actually going to rotate down into B, which is going to allow for a timing in two different positions, one from lobby and one from hell, so that they can split on the last guy in towards B. Now they did find a kill, I believe in the vent. Yes, it was in the vent on somebody rotating down, so they know that there's only one person here, and because Magix is the ramp player, they know he has to be there, so he will get dismantled extremely easily. I mean, there's really no issue, which leaves it all on to Madden. And of course, you already know that this is the last round, so he is not going to win it, which is going to be the end of Simple's first series. They actually lose. He had one map that was terrible. We didn't even watch it, and he had one map where he went 27-16. So it's kind of up in the air. And actually, since this match has been played, they actually have also played another series versus Virtus Pro, and Simple did really well there as well, but I didn't really want to cover that one because it wasn't technically his first game. Even though he might have played a little bit better, it wasn't his first, so I don't know. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on Simple as he continues to play at these events. We'll definitely cover his first LAN game, which is coming up pretty soon, actually. So make sure you guys are subscribed, and if you aren't already, then what are you doing? But like seriously, what are you doing? Also, make sure you leave a like and share to your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Much love.